Hi, it's Simon Little again. Thanks for tuning again into this video. We're nearly on the home straight now, and we're just about ready to make your Google Places entry, or indeed claim your listing if it already exists. Before we go ahead and do that, I just want to overview what we've covered and what we will be doing. You want to make sure that before we go through this process of actually creating or claiming your Google Places listing, that you've thought about the things that I've mentioned in previous videos. Critically, that you first thought about your business name and whether your business name clearly describes to your customers who you are or what you're offering them, and that that name also has to correlate to the terms that people are using to search for your business online. Now, we talked about that at length. It is absolutely critical to the success of your business on the internet. We also talked a little bit about citations earlier and getting mentions or listings for your business on directories, on forums, blogs, review sites, and industry or location-specific search engines. Now, you want to make sure that your citations are all set up properly, that they include your reworked business name, that they include the same address and phone number details that you display on your site, and that you display those details on every page of your site using text which Googlebots can read and not an image which they can't. Again, you're doing all of this to reinforce the idea to Google that you are who you say you are, doing what you say you're going to do, where you say you're doing it, and that that you should be considered very much a strong authority in the area, because you've got all of these sources backing up that you are what and who you say you are and do what you say you do. Okay. Now, with all that in place, you're ready to go ahead and set up your Google Places page properly. We're going to walk through setting up your address details and setting that up so that you have a pin on Google Maps and so that you have a catchment area if indeed you serve customers outside of them visiting your location. We're going to talk a bit about phone numbers and why it's important to use a local phone number on your Places entry, even if you have a free phone number. Google will appreciate your local phone number entry because it ties you to your location. Your customers will appreciate a free phone number because obviously they don't get charged for it. So you might want to have both, but it's very important that if you do have a free phone number that you still list your local number. We're going to go into describing your business by categories. There are main categories that you can choose up to 5. There are main categories and Google will make suggestions for you. You should certainly use one of Google's suggestions for your first category, but then you have the freedom to get creative. And you can, for example, use a niche category to increase the chances that your business is returned when people search using those terms. So for example, we know that in the driving instructor market, female driving instructors is a very highly searched for niche. So if you describe in your categories that you're a female driving instructor, the chances are that you will return results higher for that particular search term. We'll also go and talk about your company description. You get a little bit of space where you can use 400 characters only, not even 400 words, 400 characters including spaces to describe your business, and this should be like your elevator pitch on Google Places. It's your opportunity to very quickly communicate what you can do for a customer and what they need to do next. You do have to be wary of repeating yourself. At some point last year, Google had actually banned people from using any words that were in their business name or categories in their description. Now, thankfully, they've changed that because it was ridiculous. I mean, if you were a Reading Taxis and your category was Hackney Carriage and private car hire, you couldn't use taxis, Hackney Carriage or private car hire in your description. So it did get ridiculous. There were a lot of complaints about that and Google have revoked that, but they are still watching out for people who are just obviously using spammy practices like trying to stuff keywords into their description. So you still need to be wary, but you can do a few things here to optimize. The final thing we're going to talk about just at the end is reviews and how they appear when on your Google Places entry. Now, reviews are an extremely important part of creating a prominent and authoritative Google Places entry, because we live in the age now of Web 2.0 and social media, which basically means that sites can't just be static. You can't just throw information out there. You have to encourage participation. Now, reviews are the best way of doing that on your Google Places page. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can encourage people to write reviews and some of the things you have to watch out for. Now, the best thing for us to do is now to jump on the computer so you can watch over my shoulder again, and all this will make a bit more sense. So let's do that right now.